Good afternoon. My name is Stephen Herwire. I'm the owner of Herwire Financial. To Plans with Direction. Today is June 16th in the year of our Lord 2023. After the disclosures and the market wrap up, we will be talking about a few things you need to know about Social Security. Opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance reference is historical and no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested directly. All data is believed to be from reliable sources. However, no representation is made as to its completeness or accuracy. None of this is to be construed as tax or legal advice. Consult your advisor prior to taking any action. As of last night, the Dow Jones closed at 34,408.06. Year to date, it is up a little over 3.5%. S&P 500 closed at 4,425.84. Year to date, it is up 15.27%. The NASDAQ 100 closed at 15,185.48. Year to date, it is up 40.36%. Gold closed at $1,972.10 per ounce. Year to date, it is up 8.17%. Bitcoin index closed at 25,464.08. Year to date, it is up 53.76%. US dollar index closed at 102.12. Year to date, it is down almost 1.33%. The 10-year Treasury closed at 3.72%. Year to date, down 0.16% from where it started the year at 3.88%. And finally, the S&P aggregate bond index closed at 200.05. Year to date, it is up 2.5%. Okay, pay attention. This part will be on the quiz later, meaning if you forget it, it might cost you money. For a significant portion of the U.S. population, Social Security is the primary source for their retirement income. For a married couple, the difference between a good claiming choice and a bad claiming choice may mean tens of thousands, and in some cases, over $100,000 going to the couple over the course of a lifetime. Except in special circumstances not discussed here, the earliest a person can claim is age 62. Every month you delay, your Social Security benefit will go up a little bit until you turn age 70. At age 70, that stops. All things being equal, the difference between an individual claiming at age 62 and that same individual claiming at age 70 is a 76%, give or take, percent increase. If you're a single individual and you've never been married, it's not as complex a choice as for married couples. And when you're married in retirement, both collecting Social Security, when one of you dies, the smaller check disappears. And getting back to the single person, if someone is a divorcee or a widow or widower, if circumstances allow, you may be able to claim off your former spouse. For divorcees, they must have been married for at least 10 years. And if they have remarried, it may or may not be possible to claim off of the divorced spouse. Every situation is different. So how long will you need Social Security? Now, first of all, thanks to JP Morgan Guide to Retirement for this chart. This chart illustrates life expectancies for men, women, and couples. I'm going to focus on the couples portion. It is the dark blue bars. The bar on top for all of them assumes a non-smoker in excellent health. So once the couple reaches age 65, there's about a 3 in 4 chance that one of them will live 20 years. More if they're in really, really good health. To have one survivor for 25 years is about 50-50. And note, this is an average life expectancy chart. And what average means is about half of you are going to live less time and about half of you are going to live more. So keep that in mind. Why is this important? Because it comes down to when is the optimum time to claim Social Security. I always had the same answer for this. It's always, it depends. To increase the chances of making an optimum choice, a thorough analysis is usually required. There are several factors that will affect this choice. They include lifestyle, current income, expected longevity, approximated from family history, and available assets. Now, remember, when you're claiming, if you're married, the decision may have a long-term effect on your spouse. And it's an integral part of a good financial plan. Generally speaking, once you make the choice after 12 months, it's irreversible. I'll give you a case study. I actually consulted with some folks for this a number of years ago. The wife was 67 and the husband was 62. Based on the fact that both their parents lived into the late 80s, early 90s, their longevity was pretty good. Husband was the biggest breadwinner and still working. The wife thought, gee, why don't I start collecting my $1,200 a month? I don't really need it, but I'll just bank it. So after doing a thorough analysis and consulting with her accountant, I informed her that based on her husband's income, as it was substantial, that if she did that, she'd have to put somewhere between $300 and $400 a month away to accommodate the tax bill that would come with that. I also let them know to ask their investment advisor, because I wasn't their investment advisor, I was just doing this consulting, that if the investment advisor could make up that $300 to $400 a month and plus 8%. And this is, she asked, well, why is that? And I said, well, that's how much your Social Security payment's going to go up for each of the following next 3 years. So that being said, when I put my advice in writing, unless income or health circumstances change, to put off Social Security for both of them until they turn 70. Now, a couple of provisos here. If one of them died an untimely, or if she died an untimely death, like, horrible farming accident or something like that, then this would be horrible advice, because the family would have missed out on those dollars. But there's no way to predict something like that. The other things I put in writing were, number one, if your income changes, call me up, consult me, because that may trigger, claiming earlier. Okay. Now the last one, and this is not quite so obvious, is suppose the husband went to the doctor at age 62 and got an unfortunate diagnosis, like something that was going to give him a very limited lifespan, like pancreatic cancer. Well, a lot of people's impulse would be run, don't walk to Social Security, collect as soon as you can. In this case, that might not be a good idea, because if he dies and never collects his Social Security, her widow's benefit will be based on what his would have been had he collected at full retirement age. If he collected at age 62, which can be as much as 30% less, depending on the situation, her widow's benefit will be based on that number. So it's one of those things that it's a case-by-case basis, and you've got to do an analysis, and that's where somebody like me comes in. We anticipated, based if they live to life expectancy for them in their early 90s, we anticipated that they would collect over $50,000 in extra benefit just by putting it off. Okay, wherever you are in your work life or post-work life, retirement planning is very important. You need a financial plan when you're first graduating from, be it from welding or engineering school or law school. You need to, there are a couple of questions you need the answers to, and a financial plan, in my opinion, is the best way to get those answers, or at least an approximation. How much do I need to save in order to retire in a time and manner of my choosing? Now, it's not going to be exact, especially if you're in your 20s, but it hits your wallet a lot less harshly the sooner you begin. The other question you need to make sure, and with good financial planning you can find out, are my retirement savings invested in the right place? So when you're getting on that glide path towards retirement, the last 5 to 10 years before retirement, the question you need to ask is the USS Retirement shipshape and ready to set sail on the designated day? Okay, financial plan will we'll do that. We also take into account as part of the financial plan, Social Security claiming choices, not an extra charge, as part of the deal. And when you get into retirement, the question you need to answer is, how do I avoid running out of money before I run out of life? And lastly, legacy. Does what I worked hard for get to where I want it to after I'm done with retirement? How to reach me, herwirefinancial.com. I do in-person, Zoom, and phone appointments. I am licensed and registered across several states and can easily add states if there's a need. If you'd like to schedule an appointment, you can click on the schedule an appointment button in the upper right-hand corner of my website. If you want to see more videos like this, go to my YouTube channel. Just click on that red button. And if your friends want more information, I can be followed on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter. If you go to YouTube, do me a favor, please like and subscribe. And for those who prefer the good old-fashioned telephone, my phone number is 518-631-2569. Do not text me there. I won't get those texts. The text number is 518-245-3059. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there, and have a great weekend.